Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So in this video, I am going to discuss how to delete duplicates from a table in SQL. So this is about the entire records, duplicate records in SQL table. So if you are preparing for the data analysis or data engineering interview, so this is one of the important question, how we can do that. Okay. So let's consider that here I have a one table that has duplicate value for the Aditya. Okay, it is getting duplicate for the Rohan, it is getting duplicate, or I can say for the Charu, it is getting duplicate. This is fine. Okay, so my intention is to remove the duplicates records from this table. So to get the data, obviously, what you can do is you can use the select distinct, but my requirement is I have to delete the data from this table. How you can do that? Okay, so even if someone asks you identify how to identify the duplicate records in SQL table, so you will be able to answer that question also if you go through this video. So now the question is again how to identify. To identify duplicates, there are two ways. You can use group by statement and take the count. So you will be able to see that wherever the count is more than one, so that those many records are getting duplicated. Okay, so count will specify how many times that row or that record is getting duplicated. Apart from that, if you want to see the data which is getting duplicated, so you can use window functions. And window function specifically, I would like to say row number. Right. So if you use the row number, you will be able to identify. So if I use the group by, it will group the data. Automatically, it will remove the duplicate. So I won't be able to perform the deletion operation by using the group by. So what I will do is I will use window function here. So let me say select star. My window function name is row number. And obviously, once you started with the window function, so you should use over by clause and then as row number. This is what the from array as alias I used here and from this table. Okay. So, but this is not sufficient. You will not be able to get the data what you want. So obviously you need to do a partition first. So I would like to do a partition because if my ID is getting duplicated, let's say partition by ID, I will say partition by ID. This is even good. You will be able to divide the row numbers for each ID if it is getting duplicated. So it will may add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for those many duplicate records. So row number will be always unique in the data. But row number will not be executed until you specify order by. So order by ID, I will say. Okay. So instead of specifying this, you can, okay, so not possible to do this, looks like. So based on the ID, we are removing, obviously, we should have the data, a unique data for any specific column to identify the duplicate. Okay, so if you want to perform this on based on the entire duplicate, entire data, then our query may be different. So we will see how we can do that also. So star cannot be specified, but column numbers, column names, multiple column names you can specify by the in partition by clause or in order by clause. Okay. So here, if I run this, you will be able to see that row number column is created. Right. This query creates a row number column, but I would like to delete. So if you want to perform the operation on this data, there are two ways. We can consider this as a subquery or we can use the CTE. Okay. So I will first use the CTE. Okay. I will say CTE as and this is my starting statement for the CTE. This is my ending statement for the CTE. And here I will say delete from the table. New table name is CTE because all the data is stored temporarily in the CT table name called a CTE, and where. So obviously we have added one more column that will be considered where the record is more than one. If you want to see, now we know that CTE is alternative to the subquery. Then someone can think it may be possible by using the subquery also. So we can think like that also. So if I say select star from, and I'm not going to delete anything at this moment. Okay, I will say as select star from, and the table name is like, let me keep this as a temp. Okay, so we are able to create the data, but but due to the due to the limitations, we cannot perform delete operation on the subquery. Okay, because CT is more optimized to perform all those things. Okay, so what is the difference between these two then? When we use the CTE, the result set is treated like a temporary table, so you can reference it directly in a delete statement. But when you use the subquery, okay, if you use the subquery, so that will not allow direct modification of the same table that is referenced in a subquery. So that is the reason you will not be able to perform delete on this subquery. You will be able to perform with the CTE only. So this will give you the reference. So here we are using this table. This will be like alias, but that will be a temporary, that will cascade the information to the original table, to the student table, but this will not do. That's the reason CT is a good choice to perform the operations. So there are many databases that they don't allow direct modification of the same table that is being referenced in a subquery. That's the reason it is always good to use the CTE and a window function called row number to delete the records from same table. So now if I perform this, obviously it will go and delete the duplicate data. That is fine. But here if you see, the row number is, meaning ID is same for 5, but this entire record is not duplicate, right? So I would like to retain this record. I would like to retain this record. How I can do that, right? So a very simple thing is that you can specify the unique combination of column values. So I will say name, and then again I will say name. By adding this, you will be able to see that this will be treated as a separate record. Now 1 2 3 is created based on the ID. Now if I execute only this, okay, this Bali will be treated as a separate record, not a part of the ID5, right? So this is how we can achieve. So we cannot specify, we cannot use star here, but you can use the list of columns. So you can specify all the list of columns here of the table from where you have to delete the duplicate records. So this is what the solution of our question. So I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Please do not forget to subscribe WebChamp.